Hello again, football fans. Welcome to Friday Night Varsity Flashback. I'm Aaron Schoonmaker, alongside, as always, sports editor Dan Spears. It's playoff semifinals tonight.
We said before that 2 out of 3 were going to win.
Yep.
And we were right. So how about that? Every once in a while, we know what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
Here.
We got to one of the games tonight, and I must apologize to Pender. I looked up the Google map, tried to figure out a way to be able to get to both of them tonight. It wasn't possible, but we will get into that one in depth in just a little bit.
We promise. Don't worry.
Good outcome up there for the Patriots. Stay tuned for those details. Right now, let's jump to that Wallace game, which I did get a chance to go to tonight. And let's say the atmosphere there was excellent. The final home game for the Bulldogs, kind of to be expected for them.
Yeah, Joey Price had said, hey, listen, everybody expected us to get this far. There hasn't been as much buzz, but state semifinals will bring out the buzz in anybody, I think. And it was rocking and rolling up there.
Absolutely. I went there. You know, they're going for their second consecutive title game. As usual, the defense, the seniors come out holding the baseball bat. They were looking to lay some wood, as they say. And that proved to be an understatement because they laid some rocks tonight on Plymouth. But let's start with the Bulldogs offense. We know their ground game is good. It's unstoppable. But when they pass like they did on Friday night, they are absolutely impossible to beat. DeJuan McKenzie went off, hit Omar Carr up the seam for 47 yards on the opening drive of the game, and that just set the tone for everything. They went for it on 4th and goal that drive, a little over-the-top pass to Freddie Barrios, who had an absolutely huge game at their wide receiver position. Not often you get that out of the Bulldogs. That was good to see. He said if one is good, 2 is better, and on the next Wallace-Rose Hill possession, it's McKenzie to Barrios again, this time from 49 yards, a strike over the middle. Barrios makes a good quick play to split the safeties. Nice touchdown there. The numbers are changing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, lots of changing on the scoreboard. Well, one side of the scoreboard at least. Let me correct myself.
Absolutely. At this point, I'm standing on the sideline right next to Joey Price. He yells at the team. He says, we haven't won anything yet. We still have to play defense. Defense is going to win this game. It's gotten better as the playoffs have gone on, and it was at its finest tonight.
Yeah, I think so too.
I've been to 5 of the last 6 games for Wallace-Rose Hill, and this was by far their most complete game. Their defense was fast to the ball. They were hitting. They were pursuing. They were in the backfield. They were forcing turnovers. They were gang tackling. It was a defensive coach's dream on Friday night. And then get back to the offense real quick. Here's McKenzie one more time through the air. Hits Omar Carr for a 32-yard strike. DeJuan McKenzie, 7 of 10 for 165 yards and 3 touchdowns. Believe it or not, 165 yards passing for Wallace-Rose Hill, 169 rushing. That's as balanced as it gets, and when your defense pitches a shutout, that is a recipe for a state championship team.
Yeah, I mean, and give Wallace credit because Plymouth put 10 in the box in this game.
Yes.
And Joey Price said, well, why do that? As DeJuan McKenzie said afterward, he's like, I have 3 receivers on 1 defensive back. I'm going to win every time.
Yeah.
And they did. I mean, he only had to throw the ball 10 times, and they blew him out of the water. Another dominating performance at a point where they really expected to get one, and boy, they did it.
Like I said, the most complete game I've seen them play, and they're a pretty complete team.
And I was going to say, believe it or not, that's their first shutout of the year.
Yes.
I mean, somehow everybody else had scored on them, and in their biggest game so far, nothing.
That defense is just getting better.
I think it is. It's kind of frightening.
Well, let's go to another good game. This one was a surprise offense and really a great second half by Pender. Let's get into those details.
It's an unbelievable game for Pender. 2 early turnovers. They had a fumble in Southwest territory and then muffed a punt. They were down, scored right before the half, and then turned on the Jets in a game that only had 45 points. I guess you can only turn them on so far, but Pender took control of this thing, and it was theirs. They were milking the clock. They had everything, and then stuffed. Southwest was trying to make a game of it late, and Pender stuffed them on 4th and goal from the 10. Had no shot, ran out the clock. Just a brilliant performance from Pender tonight. Yeah,
really, if you look at the numbers, very similar to last week. 62 rush attempts for Pender. Javon Powell had 21 rush attempts, scored twice. Derek Holmes, 18 rush attempts, he got a touchdown. Shaq Hooper, 17 rush attempts, he got a touchdown. Yep. They really spread the ball around. 4 different running backs ran it.
Yep.
62 running plays, 0 pass plays.
That's the thing. Last year when Pender played Southwest in the playoffs, they got down by a couple scores early. They tried throwing the ball, and that just made things worse. When Pender throws the ball a lot, they're in trouble. Pender didn't have to throw the ball because they kept it close early, and they got to stay with their game plan and didn't have to do anything they're not used to doing. Again, brilliant.
You mentioned overcoming the early turnovers. 2 of them early. They score with 56 seconds to go before the half. They take that momentum into the break and really held on to it for the rest of the way.
Yeah, because they even got the ball first. They didn't score first to open the second half, but they got the ball. They got to keep the momentum going, leave the Southwest defense on the field a little bit longer at least.
Absolutely. We had one other area team tonight.
Yep.
They went up against Tarboro, up to Tarboro, like you said, very strong team at home, and they showed it tonight, flexed their muscles.
They sure did. Tarboro jumped them early. They scored 1 minute and 6 seconds into the game, and from there on, it was East Bladen mistake compounded by East Bladen mistake compounded by East Bladen mistake, unfortunately. Lennon Fisher's like, we haven't done this in a long time, and it was just a bad night to do it. 33-7 was the final there. East Bladen got one touchdown for cosmetics at the end, but Tarboro, great at home, and they're going for another state championship in 2A.
For East Bladen, they fell behind, forced to pass the ball. Deron Burney, 7 of 24.
Yeah, that's too many. They're like Pender.
Yeah.
If they start throwing the ball, you know something's not going right. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got 2 teams left in it now.
Yep.
Once again, apologies to Pender for tonight, but we're going to get to you next week. I promise on that one.
There's going to be a lot of video next week, folks, and a lot of video.
That game will be Friday night in Chapel Hill. They're going to take on Albemarle, who won 22-7 tonight. That's a 7:30 game on Friday.
Yep.
The Wallace game will be Saturday. They will be playing also at Chapel Hill.
Yep, that's at noon against Murphy, which dominated Hopton, the third Tri-County team that was left in the playoffs. They beat them in the West Final way out there near the Tennessee state line. So that was a 400 miles one-way trip for Hopton tonight. That's got to be just brutal. I can't even imagine
That's
that.
tough. We've talked about it before. Long trips in the playoffs are tough.
Yep.
Home field's important.
Absolutely.
It's all neutral sites from here. It's state championship, winner take all next week.
Yep.
We've come down to it. It's been a good season. We got one more week for you guys. Be sure to keep looking around the website. Standing stats are updated already for you. As long as you're here.
Yeah, stick around for a little while.
We're going to be here.
That's right.
Keep checking it out.